The shadow forces are working overtime because you have woken up to something. I got this message last night that the lines are beginning to blur. And then when I came here today to do the reading, I got the timelines are beginning to blur. And it feels like there are two timelines Spirit's pointing me towards. One is a timeline where shadow forces are really rampant and prevalent, and they're creating all kinds of weird situations. Okay, things that are painful, things that are deceptive. This is a timeline where many people find themselves in trouble with karma. Okay. Then there's this other timeline where people are waking up or they're beginning to question things and to understand how they can elevate their own consciousness, transmute energies. And it feels like these timelines split at some point, and these energies were maybe kept at a distance from one another to a certain degree. You were aware of this timeline, that timeline was aware of yours, but there was some kind of barrier, protection in the middle. Now, there's going to be a moment in time, whether it's happening, I feel like it could be happening now, okay, or like soon, it's coming up shortly, where these timelines converge. They come back together. The shadow forces, and I guess I'll just say the light forces just to make it easier, but you interpret this however it resonates for you. It's like they're meeting back up, and the lines between what is shadow and what is light begin to blur. And this could be a good thing, like conceptually, because it could point towards unification of shadow and light, but I don't feel it that way. That doesn't seem to be the message. The lines blurring here seems to be an attempt of shadow entities to pull those away from the light and get them mixed up into chaos and confusion. Okay, there's some objective reality or truth that these shadow forces were holding on to, trying to construct or prop up as their narrative, and it's like fading away, it's melting. I don't know why exactly. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything directly to cause that to happen, but it's like suddenly everything is like a fun house. The mirrors are all warped. These energies have no idea like how to sustain something, how to control the narrative, how to get what they want. Like things are crumbling. Yes, there's an overall, for all energies, there's an energy here of questioning reality, questioning truths. And you've taken that questioning energy to use it to transmute, to manifest, to discover, to be the magician of your own life. And then there's other forces, other entities and energies and people who have taken that same questioning energy that's available to the all and have used it to delude themselves or create illusions and confusion to get that questioning to destabilize people. Okay? Yeah. This is very strange, this energy. And these shadow forces working over time, one of the messages, I feel like they're working in this reading too, not wanting me to communicate something. And I feel like what they don't want me to communicate is an event that's coming up where these lines begin to blur. Because Spirit wants you to be clear about your path. And that's one of the messages I got, is that there's a massive clearing in the mind. And then the card, the empty room, came out. It feels like there's a wiping of the slate, and you're now able to rewrite what you want for yourself. Because you've been questioning for so long, and now comes the moment where you're clear-headed, and Spirit wants you to use this moment to get what you deserve and desire, because it's in alignment with your soul's growth and your highest good. But you're up against some forces here, okay, who are going to make that difficult for you. in one way or another, or try to. For some of you, whatever these forces do or say, it's going to kind of roll off your back. You're not even going to really pay attention to it. Whatever master plan they've concocted, again, I'm getting they diluted themselves, and it just doesn't trigger you. It doesn't affect you. Okay, you're just like, what? That's weird. Why would that person do that? Say that. And you don't realize the whole big plan behind it. Okay? But for others of you, you're very aware that there's a pull, that there is, I want to say plans, but it's not like these plans don't make sense. It feels like chaos. It's just chaos. Like somebody could just be doing things without reason. Maybe they're acting from an emotional space or an egoic space, or they're trying to maintain control and maintain a narrative, and they're just grasping at straws, anything to do this, to make this happen. And you could get consumed into figuring out why, or what are they up to, or what's their next move. But they don't know themselves, and your consumption or your attention into their own motives feeds them and fuels them. So be careful where you put your attention. There's definitely someone who wants to draw you into chaos, to destabilize you, because they themselves are destabilized. There's things that are going to seem surreal. People are going to act like they've never acted before. Okay, out of character. These could be groups of people, individuals you know, but you're going to be like, what's going on there? What's up with that? Okay, things are strange here for people. And it does feel like you've chosen something, you've chosen to stay true to yourself in some way. You've chosen to be confident. You get stronger, more determined, confident, and clear-headed. It's like you've made that pact with your soul, with your spirit guides, with spirit, whoever, whatever. You've made some kind of pact, even in your own confusion, even in your own dark nights of the soul and all that. It's like you've said, no, I'm going to stay true and determined to that path that is my highest timeline. And I'm going to keep working towards that. And that is really going to see you through when this convergence happens, when the lines begin to blur. Don't forget that pact that you made with yourself. Because someone else or a bunch of people are trying to get you to tear up that soul contract you made with yourself, with your higher self. There's another situation I'm picking up where there is somebody here who's trying to destroy someone or trying to cause havoc in someone's life, and you are somehow involved, and they don't like that you're involved because they know how strong you are. It's not that the person that they're directly trying to affect couldn't do it themselves, but there's something about you being in the mix that is really getting them hostile in some way. Okay, so you could be standing up for someone, protecting someone, I don't know. Wow, okay. So let's get into the message. I don't know if I've showed you this card because I've tried to record this reading a few times and weird things keep happening, which I feel like is part of the message since I got shadow forces are working overtime. The empty room. I think I talked about this, but this is where you're clear-headed, where you've cleared out some clutter, and now you can decide consciously how you want to design yourself and your life. But this other timeline is trying to come into this empty room and blur the lines. Blur your boundaries, maybe. Blur the lines of what you think can happen or what's real. It's very Seven of Cups energy. It's very shapeshifter energy. It's chaos in a shadow sense. okay? But Spirit also wants you to remember, because you already know this, that there are opportunities here when such energies are presented to you in your life to work with them in a way that benefits you, to transmute that energy that has been made available to you by these shadow forces, to clear some karma I got. Okay, so maybe there's an unjust situation, all of a sudden pops out of nowhere, and you do something here. And it restores your equilibrium in some way, your energetic equilibrium. Like a blessing in disguise almost. So you may ask yourself, why am I involved with this? But the question to ask yourself is, what can I do with this thing that I have found myself involved with? Because you have more power in this situation than you think. Let me know if this is resonating, okay? I'm going to pull out some more cards to see what we get. I don't know where we're going, but we're going to keep the faith. So let's see, Spirit. Actually, no, give me one of these cards. Tell me more about the empty room. Tell me more about this. Blood moon, illusion, uncertainty, and narcissism. Oh, the wolves. Do you guys remember that dream about the wolves? I can't remember what it was called. That's linked to this. Okay, I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it in the comments below and pin it. And if you have a synchronicity right now with wolves, or you want to tap deeper into this energy and know more, then go to that reading if you feel guided. Blood moon. Yeah, these are shadow forces creating illusion and uncertainty. There is a narcissistic vibe here, but it's one that is like scattered, disorganized, thrown off. Plans have failed. And it also feels like these energies here on the shadow timeline are surrounded with themselves. They've run out of people to use and abuse. They've run out of allies. Their illusions are no longer working. Yeah, it's kind of hellish, I feel, for that collective or those people or that timeline. Okay. Illusion and uncertainty, narcissism. So when someone who is narcissistic in just, part of their personality, doesn't have to be a disorder, but whatever. When they lose control of the narrative, they spiral. And that's exactly what's happening here. Exactly. And you and your empathy and your compassion, but also your curiosity, might try to figure out this narrative, what it was, what they tried to get it to be, what they plan to say next or do next. But it's utter chaos over there. There's no point. There's no point in that. You're going to know what to do as things unfold and happen. Don't fuel their energy by giving them your attention. Like attending to the unknown chaos that they're creating, even for themselves, right? They're creating unknown chaos for themselves. Okay. Wow. Whoa. Okay. This is a message for sure. Even though it's coming out kind of clunky, it's here. Okay. I want to pull two of these cards, though, Spirit. Can you tell me about the energies that are supporting the collective? Energies supporting the collective. The cartographer, crossroads, and exploration. That's that convergence point, when the lines begin to blur. A few more came out. A lot more, actually. We have the queen, determination and sacrifice. The acolyte, new projects and learning. The captain, taking command and teamwork. And the hare, unseen potential and hesitation. I'm just going to take out the cartographer, though. This convergence of timelines, it's going to feel wonky. It's going to feel weird. Something might even seem absurd or extreme, but it's here for you to work with some energy that someone's throwing at you or giving you, and use that energy, like think metaphysically here, like use that energy and take it, that questioning energy, and take it for your own uses, for your own advantages. Like it's... So when we have catalysts in life, right? Something happens and it's destructive, there's a tower, but it gives us all this drive and this energy that throws us into a better trajectory in life. It's that kind of thing that's going on. Something is going to be a catalyst. There is also something that you're mapping out. There's also something here about territory, spiritual territory, maybe energetic territory. The herald, small regrets and longing. That's the energy challenging you. Yeah. Oh, here's those forces entangling up, right? These two timelines. Snake. Yeah. Okay. So those small regrets you have in life, if you have any, maybe you don't, but the things you long for, those things that kind of get you melancholy now and then, that's what they're going to feed off of. That's the point of weakness they are going to look for. So maybe this is something that you want to think about now. Do I have any regrets? Why do I have regrets? Is there a way to reconcile that energy within me regarding regret? Or am I longing for something? And is that creating a sense of lack mindset, lack mentality in my life, bringing in energy I don't need? There's something about you asking these questions and working on those things that will fortify you and make you stronger when you come to this crossroads with the darker forces here. Because they just want to create uncertainty. Something you're longing for can happen for you. And actually, I feel like now's your chance. This could be a career path. This could be a certain way you saw yourself. This could be a relationship. I don't know, whatever you're longing for, or a vision for the world. Maybe you're longing for peace. Okay, I don't know, but it can happen. There's something here that's about to crystallize, a longing you've had. And here come these shadow forces to confuse the F out of you so that you don't work towards that longing, so that you don't believe in what you desire. Okay, your overall energy is temperance. This is the transmutation of energies. This is you taking that shadow energy and working with it. This is also being guided, being patient, knowing when things have time and when things shouldn't be given time. There's definitely somebody miscommunicating or trying to get you to say the wrong thing or fumble in some way. For what you don't see coming, the Three of Pentacles. I see this, there's that portal that's being created. I see this in two ways. One is what you don't see coming is that there are others who are going through the same thing as you, or who are on the same timeline as you, and you can work with these energies. There are more on your timeline how do I say that? More have crossed over to your timeline. So maybe there was a situation in which you weren't believed, or you were belittled, or you were seen as, lower than someone else. But now things have shifted and more have kind of joined forces with you than they have with someone else or something else. You have allies, and it feels like those allies that are joining forces with you may have been on that other timeline before, working with that energy instead, which gives you an advantage, because if that's the case, then you have insider information on how someone works, how they tick. There's something about time here. What makes them tick? The other way I see this going is that the shadow forces, like I said, only have themselves now to contend with. And that's what's creating a lot of chaos too. There's no leader, really. There's no one to follow. They're all howling in different directions. They don't know where the moon is. They don't know where the intuition is, where the magic is. They're lost. Someone's creating a door for you, a portal for you, and you have the right credentials to get through. I don't know what that means, but I'm seeing this as you with some kind of document in your hand. This could be metaphorical, right? It doesn't have to be literal, but you have certification, or you have a stamp of approval. You have the passport that you need to go through this portal. And it's like you're just waiting patiently for the portal to finish materializing. And when it does, you can go through easily. 4 of Wands for your opportunity. This is celebration, a sense of stability, and success. It could also be union with others. I need a little bit more on this. What's this opportunity? 4 of Cups. Turning something away. Someone's trying to offer you something, a temptation, a truth, a illusion. They're trying to give you something to pull you over away from this portal that's being created for you. And your opportunity is to say no to that. See how this cat's like, nuh-uh. And instead move towards something that's stable, certain, and full of celebration. I heard careful of making deals with the devil. Someone could offer you some money for something that you feel is like shady. They're trying to buy you off. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there's someone offering something to you for sure. I'm hearing buy your silence. They want to buy your silence. I don't know. That feels very specific. Someone could give you something sterling silver. I don't know. It's like someone's buying you something or giving you something, but they're trying to put golden handcuffs on you. They're trying to bind you to them with this thing. Anything more general? 5 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. On the shadow timeline, someone has their eyes on you and they're trying to link you to their own karma with other people. They're trying to rope you into something with more than one person. There's other things at play here. You might not see this. I got this in another reading, but they might be trying to use you as a scapegoat. Or there's a bigger agenda going on and they're just using you somehow to achieve something that they want to achieve. It feels to me that you're going to need to work with someone you trust or work with others or surround yourself with people who are awake and have a conscious awareness of their own shadow self, let's say. You need like-minded people. It would highly benefit you. Why? How? Six of Swords. It would help you clear your mind of any chaos that they want to create. You need a sounding board. Someone who can hear what you have to say and work through the grime, you know? You need to process something. Talk to someone about something, because not only do you need to get it out and say it for yourself in order to clear it up. You know, sometimes we have all this stuff in our head, and then when we say it, it all becomes clear because we hear ourselves. Well, speaking is magic in a lot of ways. We hear what's actually going on from our own subconscious mind that knows as we translate our thoughts into words. But more than that, whoever's listening to you has sage advice. Maybe they've been through something similar, or they can see things that you can't see, that you should see. Yeah. This is going to be good. Very good. Okay. The challenge, justice. There is karma here in this situation. I mean, it's like intense karma. This is a karmic situation. Tell me more about justice and why is it a challenge? Why is justice a challenge? I'm seeing like someone trying to give you a pill. Why is this a challenge, Spirit? Five of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. The Fool. If there is some kind of legal fight, okay, it's a challenge because there's a lot of work that you're going to have to put into it to get the truth out, but it will come out with the Fool card. Or it will set you on a new course. But I think with the Ace of Swords, truth will come out, but it's going to take some work. Maybe going through some details here. Looking at all the different players involved. There's more going on behind the scenes. Okay, there's conflict too. If you're not going through something legal, then fighting off the energy of narcissism, illusion, and uncertainty is hard work. It is draining. It is exhausting. It's not easy. I feel like it would be easier to react emotionally or to lash out, do something in retaliation, or take revenge. Like energetically, it might feel easier because you just act in the moment without thinking and you don't have to hold the tension of everything that's going on. But you are Temperance, so you're not meant to act or react emotionally to what's going on. You are meant to hold that tension, and that's hard, that's tiring, that takes work. You don't have to hold back, maybe bite your tongue until the perfect time, until it's time to say something, or until you get some kind of information. And just know that you may feel energetically exhausted by this because it takes a lot of energy to stave off whatever kind of chaos is trying to be created around you. And it's very tempting to be like, oh, this is just draining my energy. I'm just going to say this and then maybe it will all be over. Spirit really wants you to have patience and take your time. Your advice, Two of Wands. This is when you get to that convergence point and the lines begin to blur, to remember the path that you've chosen, the soul contract you made with yourself, and to continue to choose your timeline, your highest timeline, even when things are blurry and confusing. That's clear advice. Now, what's the outcome of all of this? The Tower and the Lovers. This is karmic, right? When the Lovers comes out, I take it as a karmic contract. A big decision that's going to determine your fate in some ways, right? So what you do here, well, the effects of it, your decision, your choice, will play out for a long time to come. And that could mean that you get rewards and benefits for the actions you took for a long time to come. You're going to choose what's right in this situation over what's easy. You are in some ways choosing the harder path, but it's the higher path at the same time. You're committed to your growth and to your integration and unification of your soul. What else is here? You cannot be pulled away easily from something you've worked very hard to achieve, or it could even be a relationship that you have. See, these lovers, they're looking at one another, they're embracing one another, they have arrows in them, there's a tower moment happening. All the forces, it seems like, are working against them, but still, they maintain their unity. They persevere. And this could be you, right? Someone trying to tear you from yourself. And you stay strong, even if there's tower moments happening around you. Or it could be a career or a relationship or something else. But it's pretty strong here. Okay, that's the message I have for you. I really hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.